It's race day here at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya, a track that's certainly seen its fair share of electrifying races over the past years. And there are no doubts that today's race will be just as brilliant. It's 730 metres from pole position down to a slippery turn 1 here, the first of 16 corners around this 2.89 mile racetrack. The long, wide turn 3 and the uphill right-hander of turn 9 can both be taken full throttle in the right conditions, but I doubt very much we'll be seeing any of that today. Joining me on this very wet day is a man who's no stranger to driving in miserable conditions. Anthony Davidson, you've driven open cockpit, you've driven sports cars. How does the wet weather experience change between the different disciplines?
Well, I wouldn't say there's much difference in all honesty. You know, besides the terrifying closing speeds you find in sports cars with the different categories all sharing the same track, driving in the rain is, well, driving in the rain. Of course, the biggest difference between the two is the closed cockpit versus the open cockpit. You get the luxury of staying dry in the sports car, but if your screen ever gets dirty, well, that's a pit stop, not just wiping your visor or pulling away a tear off. But most of the time, you know, they're both as miserable as each other, to be honest.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Alexander Albon will lead us away from pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Leclerc, Max Verstappen and Bottas, Sainz, Perez, Hülkenberg and Daniel Ricciardo, Norris, Stroll, Kevin Magnussen and Grosjean. Gasly, Giovinazzi, George Russell and Robert Kubica, Raikkonen and Daniel Kvyat completes the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay, be wary of the cars ahead braking suddenly into one. We could ruin our race if we hit them. Good luck. the race. We'll see you in Park Ferme.
Yet another historic win under their belts. Well done to the team at Mercedes. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today? After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
It has to be said, Roman Grosjean certainly had my eye today. He made impressive gains during the race.